Hello everybody and welcome to the ClassicWhoZone's ClassicWhoZone watch along of Battlefield. Hope to find you all well on this lovely weekend here actually. Unfortunately there's a big major Dublin derby happening right now. So even though it's lovely and warm, had to keep the windows closed or the music in the background is so loud that it might actually come through on the stream. So I've had to close the windows and I'm absolutely boiling hot here. But we're here for the watch along. So I'll introduce all of my guests who are joining us tonight. I've sent everybody that's available an email. So as soon as we get them on, I'll have everything set up, ready to go, and we'll just get straight into it, folks. No big, long conversation because don't want to dwell too much on what's been happening. I just want to enjoy Classic Who, so that's what we're here for. So our first guest on tonight is the one and only. He's changed his name for tonight. It's the one and only Merlin.
Hello. Hi, Noel. How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
Not bad.
That's good. That is absolutely good. Lovely day here in Dublin. So we got some.
Yeah, well, it's not so lovely here. It's freezing and cold and wet.
Well, we're normally the same, so it's about time we got a bit of good weather here. Have to be honest. It's nice. It's nice. Won't last long though. Won't last long. Right, let's bring on our next guest because we got a bit of royalty joining us. It's the one and only Queen Charlotte.
Well, at least my name actually suits the story tonight.
That's it. Exactly. Welcome. Nice to have you along.
Good to be here. Miss doing it.
Yeah, well, hopefully now I'll try get back to some sort of normality now. Ted is doing a lot better now, so I should. And my sleep patterns kind of getting back to normal. I actually got up at, believe it or not, before noon, which is a miracle for me. Yeah. So I'm awake over 8 hours now, and I feel great. So, yeah, and I haven't been eating well, but like today I was able to eat a full dinner. So I think it's because I've been out of whack with my sleep and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm getting back to some sort of normality, so I'm nearly there. So, but nice to see you. Let's bring on our next guest. Oh, no way. It's Mordred. He's changed his name last week. It's Mordred Bing.
Hello. Good to be back.
Nice. Are you going to be just as camp as the fellow in the episode Lee tonight then?
Well, duh.
Yeah.
I don't know if Alpha Omega is working this weekend, but I did send him an email, so I'll just send him a quick message to see if he is going to be joining us. I forget. I don't know if he told us he was working this weekend. Probably is. So yeah, I've got the episode ready. So if everybody in the chat wants to get the story ready, and we'll get the show on the road. I'll give.
I don't have it.
You don't have it. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have to send you. Hold on, I'll do that now.
Are you sending it to my Twitter or my email?
No, I'll send it in the private chat.
All right. Okay.
I'll send it in the private chat for you.
PJ maybe says Mordred suits problem somehow. Oh, thank you very much.
Right. Now
Yeah, but that means you've got mummy issues.
You'll have to scroll down.
That's not altogether untrue.
Right, John. You'll have to scroll down, but it is there because that's what I'm watching it on. There
And
you go.
very quickly, I want to just say very quickly, thank you, Disaster. I got a lovely surprise in the post today off Disaster, so thank you.
Ah.
So you'll find it in there.
There, I've got it.
February the 14th has been and gone.
Right, let's see who we have in the chat while we're waiting. So we have Enigmatic Joker. David Travels Through Time, Channel 2. We have, of course, he's joining us on the panel, but he's changed his name on the panel. But we do have Real Super Doctor. Disaster Area. Of course, Royalty with Queen Charlotte. We've got Stuart Bowers in the chat as well. PJ maybe. Matthew Burrows is also in the chat. CJ Campbell 37. Who else have we got? We got Daniel in the chat. And that is everybody, I think. If I have forgotten anybody, I don't think I have. But if I have, let me know. And I'll give you a quick shout out before we start. Anybody want to say a few words about this particular story before we start, actually, folks? Anybody on the panel got anything to say?
Yeah,
briefly?
I think this is an interesting story. It's one of McCoy's good ones. It's got a kind of, it highlights a kind of mystery of the Doctor, like, oh, there's another layer to him, and there's a kind of darkness in him, and it's like you can see it emerging in Sylvester McCoy's Doctor very early on, and he's more serious in this than he was in his first series seasons and that. It was kind of more camp and kind of loosely based Doctor and that. But you kind of see a dark side merging with the Doctor, and there's kind of a kind of mystery building up, and it even goes into Silver Nemesis, that there's a wee hint that there's something more to the Doctor. But yeah, overall, this is an interesting story.
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting how it just sort of, obviously, it has the whole Merlin angle with the Doctor, but it doesn't explain it, and I love that watching it. So I bet me was like, oh, please don't start to explain that, and he didn't. The general who was just like, oh, he's Merlin, I just know he is, and that he didn't have a massive tale to do with it, so I quite like that.
Yeah, it's got that kind of well, this is the Cartmel plan in action, isn't it? Unfortunately, we never got to see it really sort of fulfilled, but I think he was always going to keep it very hinted at rather than explicit, to add that mystery back into the show. Obviously, we see the return of Unit. I wasn't very keen on the Blue Berets, even though it's probably more accurate, given that it's a UN task force. But the Brigadier. Obviously, we see the return of the Brigadier for the first time in a very long time. I think since the 5 Doctors, isn't it? So it's this is quite a special thing, and it's quite nice in the last season of the classic era to have him back.
Yeah. Well, the Brigadier is retired, and we get to see his wife Doris for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, if everybody in the chat is ready, please press 1, and then we'll get the show on the road.
Greatest show in the galaxy.
No, Lou, we like this story.
Justice for the galaxy.
So the StreamYard is probably a bit slow. I don't know if people are pressing 1, but there we go.
There we go.
We've got a couple of 1s. Okay, well, we'll let the lady on the panel do the countdown. So, Charlotte, whenever you're ready.
Yep, I just put my mouse over. Right, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Oh, missed that. Oh, it's fuck 5, fuck 4. Who needs them anyway?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even click. I just, yeah.
So this is the first CGI title sequence in Doctor Who.
Yeah, and
so.
it looks bad.
Yeah, it's kind of blocky in that.
Yeah, I didn't like this either with the winking of the.
No. They were
Yeah,
actually
I
going
mean,
to
like
have
this.
Colin Baker winking.
I
Yeah,
did
the
like
winking
the
and
Doctor
smiling.
Who.
Removed it.
I like the Doctor Who logo. I have to be honest.
Yeah.
It's so 80s.
Mm.
Right.
Ah, there's the Brigadier.
Bless him.
Oh, it's a real shame that by the time the show came back, he was ill. Because it would have loved
Yeah.
to have just had one episode, wouldn't it? Just one with him in. It would have been.
Well, he was going to be in the Sarah Jane Adventures in the wedding
Yes,
scene,
and then
but
his illness caught up with him, didn't it?
He was in the Sarah Jane Adventures. It was a kind of brief cameo.
but the guy Chris from the Black Glove Studio is doing a reconstruction. He's going to put the Brigadier into that scene using CGI and deep fakes and stuff.
And we've soon got the reveal of, oh look, a strong female character.
Yeah.
Right.
It happens to be the
Brigadier.
new Brigadier.
I don't like this weather. Neither do I.
So was this woman quite a well-known actress who was...
Yeah, she was in Doctor Who before. Her name was Jean Marsh. She played Sarah Kingdom in the William Hartnell story, the Daleks' Master Plan.
Because she plays a really good villain, isn't it?
Yeah.
And here you can see the set not in place.
Yeah.
That's why it's all dark and the walls look weird.
Like, in disrepair, did they just leave it for too long to get to that state, or was it just budget?
Well, actually, the walls get put into storage when they're not in use, and the walls get warped, and they had to kind of basically make up these kind of artificial walls and kind of dark light the TARDIS. You can see it's not the actual the actual Greek pillars that goes around it. You can actually see it's like just it's just probably just cardboard.
Probably in those days.
So this was the last serial that featured the TARDIS console in the TARDIS console room.
Yeah, I never even clicked that with Sylvester, that you hardly see him in it, do you? It's just that it's something that I didn't even notice until you guys were bringing it up for other stuff. I was like, God, yeah, he's sort of almost separate from the TARDIS, this Doctor, instead of like being a pair, which you always think of.
I do like McCoy's brown coat rather than the cream coat.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, when he came out with the brown coat,
Yeah.
we were all really happy about it for some reason. It just made somehow more difference.
I think sometimes if you have too much of the same colour, isn't it? I think before everything was sort of pale
It was
with
so
the outfit
beige.
with him. Yeah.
And it suited his darker Doctor as well.
Yeah.
Bad CGI.
Yep.
Yeah, just
For the time, yes.
I really don't like the music in this, I have to say. That was one of the biggest problems I had with this era, was the music, the incidental music.
It's too
just
in your
too
face.
bon tempi and techno.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very cheesy.
MIDI. Yeah, just MIDI music.
Yeah.
All played on one synthesizer.
Yeah, if they had
compared
more
to what we had
serious
in
music behind
the
these
Peter
themes, they'd be a
Davison
lot more
era
better.
and the Colin Baker era,
Mm.
and we get this.
Yeah, it's really jarring for me.
Yeah. I think it cheapens the episode.
Mm. I'd love to see this era rescored.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the fan
Maybe
hasn't
something more
already
in the
done
vein
that.
of. I think that there was someone who did a rescoring. I think it was for like a sort of filmic episode. I can't remember which one it was now, but I think it was actually done by someone. It might have been. Which episode was it? Can't remember. Curse of Fenric, I think it might have been.
But it's very interesting with the whole unit and Doctor sort of way it's done in this episode, because he's basically a stranger now to unit. He's not been there for so long that it's sort of weird to see him on the outside and not be that usual trusted figure. Because the new brig, she just doesn't care for him at all until she has to.
Well, she doesn't have a knowledge of who the Doctor is and the relationship unit has with the Doctor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's an interesting thing to see, isn't it? Just him to be like he uses the old cards, doesn't he? And it's like it's such a stark difference to the Pertwee era.
Just think like a physicist.
I thought the Doctor had a password or a code word that he used.
No, it's in the classic series. He only had kind of passes because in the Pertwee era he had passes, and so did Joe Grant and Elizabeth Shaw.
Maybe it's the Big Finish. I think he has like a sort of code word or something. I'm sure I've heard it somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, hell breaks loose.
That's not. To be fair, though, it's a good description.
Yeah. Yeah. Always Geneva.
I'll tell you what, Briggs must have had a good pension.
Oh yeah.
Because he's basically got like a Tudor-looking old like manor house.
Although, usually officers were from well-to-do families anyway. So.
Oh, and Briggs has that air about him, doesn't he? Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that police box TARDIS prop looks better with that kind of lighter shade of blue, I think.
I don't like the lighter shade of blue. I like it darker. I mean, it's the same, isn't it? The same prop as the Davison's, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's kind of went over kind of a wee bit of changes.
Yeah, they got rid of that awful block at the top, didn't they?
Yeah.
See, it's weird for me because of what I'm used to seeing as a TARDIS. Classic TARDIS looks so much smaller to me.
Yeah.
And it's just because obviously the newer episodes they made the TARDIS a lot bigger, didn't they? Like
too big.
So for me, that's what I'm used to. So now when I see it in Classic, it always looks a little bit like smaller.
Well, it's more accurate to the original police boxes.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere the original police box is somewhere in between the classic and the New Who style.
Well, the doors of the classic police box are about 6 feet high. Because that is kind of the major, and then then it comes below the window ledge. So you're talking about it's between that. And I've seen the current box at Madame Tussauds, and it's quite small. The windows are quite small.
Yeah, it just always seems strange to me that the new Who TARDIS, you're standing there next to it, and like your head's barely even below the window frame. It's like it's crazy. £5. Is booze £5? Don't even know. I haven't been to the pub.
I was gonna say I'm not. I wasn't one to go when we could. So.
I didn't understand why the knights had guns, but
well, it's a bit steam. Well, they're from what I've understood of this episode, they're like a parallel universe.
Yeah, that's right.
So basically, it's Arthur, but add a bit of steampunk. It's the sort of way I saw it. But if you think about it, if they're a parallel universe, that does make the whole Dr. Merlin thing even more confusing.
Yeah. I think I've only ever seen this twice in my life before. First time when it came out, the second time was when I started rewatching the classic series again.
Actually, when I first saw this episode, I thought that the Doctor Who was getting worse as it was going along, and I thought, compare it to the Peter Davison era and the Colin Baker era. I mean, it's a wee bit with the music and the acting. It is a bit naff, but it is actually a good story. But it is enjoyable. But there's just some bits in it that's quite off-putting.
Yeah. Yeah, you can sort of imagine this being a Tom Baker story. Even you've got the pub, you've got the countryside, you've got crazy nights, got Unit.
Yeah, when later on you get the whole explosive stuff. I know that was Ace's gimmick, but it came across to me a bit like, oh god.
If they decided to get rid of Ace and have Shao Yung as a companion, I mean, she's got potential to be a companion.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's when you look upon these episodes and you think that, oh, maybe this woman would make a good companion,
I
or
always
this
thought
young
Duggan.
girl would make a good companion.
Duggan would have been a great companion from City of Death.
Yeah, I think there would be more comedy in it if he was
but
in it.
it fitted that kind of time, when
Yeah.
Douglas Adams was script editor. I did love Sylvester's hat, though. I did want that hat. I had one similar, but not the same. Well, I worked at school, got harassed to death for it. Oh, bless him. Look at him. Smart. So are we.
I could have, Doris, but I still have my duty.
Very good. He did all right for himself, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It looks like he'd done all right for himself. He's got a beautiful wife. He's got a house,
Well,
but his kids have all grown up, and
but he's still hankering for adventure.
Oh,
can
yeah,
see-
that's what this whole story's about, isn't it? From the Briggs angle of it, it's like you're happy, you should just be happy, but he's like, no. If anything happens to the Doctor, I'm always going to be there.
yeah. It's like the Brigadier just wants to get back into it again. I mean, even though that he was quite uncertain about it during the Pertwee era, he's more kind of, he's more open to return here, and he just wants to get into the kind of action again.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's
you notice
quite...
the woman that's cleaning behind the bar, she was actually in Earthshock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, PG's just had an interesting fact. And Nicholas was the only actor to appear with the first 7 Doctors. Suppose he
Yeah.
had 5 Doctors, then he would have been with the ones he wouldn't have been in before.
Yeah, we've been with Richard Herndl as the
Yeah.
first Doctor in the 5 Doctors. Yeah.
I just think Brig is such, like, that is something that I'm really seeing now more I'm watching Classic. It's just how much variety with companions. It's just, like, even, I think Classic also did the thing of not having people that were officially companions, but they were, like, reoccurring characters. And even, so I class them as companions, basically, in my head. And there's just so much variety. It's, like, old, like current day, past, future. Actually, no, it's any future. Yeah, Turlo, I suppose, would be future, wouldn't it? It's like they just really knew that we're in a show where anywhere and anywhere, so we can pick people up from that.
Do we count? Do we count the 12th Doctor as one of the Doctors he's met? Because he, as a
but people don't like to. But people don't like to count that, do they? Even I remember hearing that, and even I was a bit like,
not Doctor Who's finest moment.
No, it was like you could tell they were trying, but if you no.
Yeah, it was just quite tasteless, really.
At least they did Kate, though. I do think Kate was a nice. She was different enough, but you could tell she was the Briggs daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is just a bit silly, this scene, I think. I mean, it's...
Not to put too fine a point on it. Oh, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a bit behind. As have they launched the night then? With you two.
Well,
I
through a
honestly,
roof, really.
Flying through the air.
I honestly think sometimes J&T was just like, what's the craziest thing I can get away with in an episode? A knight being fired by rock. That's just like.
It's like, oh dear.
This always reminded me of the Tennant's Lager advert, because whenever I saw this, the beer kegs and that.
It literally looks like I've just seen it. It looks like he's on a trampoline, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's always something about these lights, fluorescent lights, that it's a studio. It's not a. It's not real. It's not real place. It's the artificial lights and that. Merlin, against all hope. It's great that with that situation that he was faced with, I mean, the Doctor looked completely puzzled by it.
Yeah. It's like, what?
Yeah. Like, this is new to me. But then it's within, like, the next episode, he just rolls with it. And that's another sign of just the Doctor's character. It's like, oh yeah, I'll be Merlin.
Ooh.
Shame about his eyebrows, but everything else I agree with.
Yeah. Tin head.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mono caterpillar. Winifred.
I do like that cliffhanger.
Yeah, not the best acted cliffhanger, I have to admit.
No, but it still has a wee bit kind of presence to it. It's like you get that presence and feel of a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, I think Sylvester had some pretty good cliffhangers for Classic. They seem to be memorable. Probably some for the wrong reasons, but
Yeah.
Right, I'm queued up. Ooh. Where's our glorious leader?
Where's our esteemed leader?
Right.
I'm just waiting for the next one to load.
yeah, has it been a bit sticky with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been with you.
Yeah, it's like that with me.
Well, all three of
It
you
never
are
used to be like that. It used to, you'd whack on an episode and it'd like be on straight away. There'd be no loading. There, I'm ready to go anyway. So if
Yeah, mine's
people are
ready.
ready in the chat,
Yep,
please
I'm
press
ready.
one and we'll get straight into the second one. Why not? But yeah, the acting in this is terrible. I have to be honest.
Yeah.
The music is
pretty
not.
bad.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, I have to be honest. Yeah, the music has put me off really, but it's
Oh, it's
really
terrible.
The
So
acting
bad.
is
so
bad.
bad.
But
It's
and
well
it's funny.
paced.
It's funny because when they brought it back in 2005, the music was really overpoweringly loud as well, and quite a
Yeah.
bit cheap,
Yeah.
naff at first.
Yeah,
So yeah,
but
kind of.
then,
Oh, they haven't learnt.
but in fairness to fucking Murray Gold, he kind of honed
Yeah, by season 2.
yeah, by
Series 2, sorry.
season 2, I think he really nailed it. But I do agree with you. But I have to keep remembering that this is the 80s, and NAF music was in all TV shows. I
Pretty
mean,
much.
it would be deadly if, as you said someone changed the music, did re-edited the music. I'd love someone to do that and maybe add some Russell T music to it. Oh, not Russell T music. Murray Gold music to it. I'd say it'd make it a lot better, man. To be honest with you, it's bleeding off that. I can't get over it. Right, is everybody ready in the chat? Please press 1.
I saw 1-1-1 so far, so
You just seen 1-1.
yeah.
Right. Well, 1-1 is not good enough. 1-1.
No.
So keep pressing ones there. There's Lee's at the putting in a 1. You don't count.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
You're on the panel. I know you guys are ready.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You don't count.
No.
You don't count either.
It's like in next part we've got, as I've named him in my head, Discount Loki. It was just like, oh wow, I'm getting massive Loki
There
back.
you go. We've got ones all over the shop. Right,
Oh,
Sharon,
it was just a
keep
bit
honors.
below. Yeah. So I'll start from 5 and go down. 5,
Yes.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
There we go.
Yeah, see,
I don't think Kev McCulloch's music is good as Peter Howell.
No, I was going to say, I'm just when it's the swirls, the purple swirls for the opening, it doesn't look too bad. It's when you get this ball thing, it's when it
Yeah.
really doesn't starts to look a bit its age.
I mean, they had to take photographs of Sylvester McCoy with his face and his hair painted silver, and
Yeah.
every
Oh,
angle
God.
on that, and like him winking in that. I mean, I seen it in the making of it.
But he was thinking
I
all
mean-
this for like a title sequence.
Yeah.
Chris Purchase says, is Noel saying Her Majesty doesn't count?
That's all right. I'm used to getting told off Cockney. I just about got away with that. I think in last year.
It's because you're one of the lads, you see, doesn't distinguish you. You think you get it bad? Bloody hell.
So, it's all right. I chat with Daniel regularly. I can give back.
Yes.
The actor that played Mordred, he was also in a James Bond, Pierce Brosnan one.
What? It's like a henchman.
No, he was in. I think it was a submarine. He was in. He was a submarine pilot or something like that. And I think it was Pierce Brosnan. No, I'm not sure if it's it's the one with Terry Hatcher in it or not. I can't remember. Haven't seen it in a while.
Oh, you go, Sylvester.
Yeah.
He's proper like.
He goes
rolling
up to
his R's.
11. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have sworn it.
Okay, mummy's boy, why don't you go running off to her?
Oh, that music. God, stop.
It really does not suit the situation
No.
that's going on here.
And it just highlights how over the top everything is.
You're saying that, but we haven't seen the demon thing yet. And it's like, that's what I was thinking. Okay, we had enough with everything else, but now we've got a demon.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ho, 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 ho.
So I can't hear us. Was that the one when he called her a peasant, or was that?
Yeah.
coming up?
Yeah. Love at
Rolling
first
about on
sight
the
there.
floor.
Love at first sight.
Oh, so love at first sight. But to be fair, I think the actual night outfits look good. I think they don't look cheap. They actually, I think that they look convincing enough.
So she's overpowered a knight, really.
Yeah. Well, maybe because of him being a knight, he was chivalrous and let her beat him because
Maybe
he's
just
very
aroused. Well, I suppose he's probably more trained in the martial arts as an advantage.
Is that an earthquake?
It does sort of look like they've wandered into the Emmerdale set,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, the doctor's just like, oh, I found the wolf pack.
Yeah.
The sound effects make it very phony and artificial. And
You say
that.
the sound effects, the whole lightning looks quite phony.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's the same production standards as a children's TV show at the time, like
Yeah.
CBBC.
Yeah.
Rather than BBC drama.
Oh, at this point, it'd been a while, hadn't it, since they'd viewed it as anything.
It's because
So-
at that point that nobody was caring about Doctor Who anymore,
Yeah.
and it was deemed as a child's program, and it was getting cancelled right, left, and centre. And Michael Grade at the time didn't like it, didn't like Colin Baker, so Colin Baker was fired, and then Sylvester was taken over and all that, and
Well, he
Jonathan
was really
Turner
going for it
wanted
there,
to
wasn't he?
modernise it.
Just a bit like.
Yeah,
And
very understated performance.
With the lack of money that was invested in Doctor Who at the time, and
Yeah, but
Well,
it's
just-
interesting. Yeah, but I think the sort of good end of that, though, is probably
Yeah.
why it started to pick itself up near the end of Sylvester. And Andrew talked about this in Eddie's interview, where he sort of said that was sort of a blessing almost, because we could just do what we wanted. We didn't have a BBC head telling us, no, you can't do that. And it was only after we'd made it a lot of the time when we got any comments.
God, it's reaching Jodie Whittaker levels of acting.
Yep.
Yeah, but at least it's a little bit more convincing.
Yeah. But this is better than anything that was from series 11,
Well,
12.
It's certainly more entertaining, and B, the story at least has a plot, you know.
It is entertaining, and there's good bits in it. And despite the bad bits in it, still, I wouldn't write it off. I wouldn't ignore this episode. I mean, I would watch it again and again, because for the fact that it is, to me, it is Doctor Who. It's the last of the classic series.
Yeah. And of course, Jean Marsh is fantastic.
Yeah, she has the crazy eyes.
Oh yeah.
Professional actress.
She looks a bit like what's her face from Weakest Link,
Anne Whittaker.
Anne Robinson. She's
Anne
got a bit of an Anne Robinson
sorry,
look about her. Now you can't unsee it, can you?
Yeah.
It's
You are the
light,
Weakest
the
Link.
lighting
Goodbye.
as well. Maybe that's where they get the idea. Now, this is a complete ridiculous scene. Everybody is sleeping. The Doctor gets a crisp packet, blows it up, and then bangs it at them to wake them up. I mean, this is stupid.
Oh, look at those lovebirds.
But then, to be fair, Sylvester's Doctor was very practical sort of comedy at times, wasn't he?
It's funny though. He's just like, he's got his hat up there. Like, yeah. Good morning.
At this point, I was like, oh wow, a helicopter in a television show is still in the air. I was like, this must be a record.
And then the comment after it crashed, £5 million worth of material lost. I mean, that £5 million for that helicopter? Don't think so.
Think about how much budget went on this shot, you know.
Yeah.
Just hiring a helicopter.
So the unit must be minted then, because there are quite a few helicopters in Pertwee's run.
Yeah, and the Troughton era.
Well, was it a Zeppelin? Oh God, I've watched so many now. I'm rubbish at remembering titles. It's escaped me. I can't think of the title now.
I'm very much in the same.
The Invasion? Isn't it like a Zeppelin? Is it the Invasion?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Ace has got a favourite hobby.
Nitro 9.
Because you want to blow up an archaeological find, don't you?
Yeah. I do love the Doctors. He's just like, okay, this is Ace. It's her thing.
I mean, the Nitro 9 looks like aluminium aerosol cans that have been stripped of their paint and that.
Or your parents' cocktail shaker.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this line. Ace, we're going to have a conversation. He's like a proper dad reprimanding his daughter there, isn't he?
Yeah, the doctor didn't like her drinking or
Yeah.
doing the wrong things or the explosives. He was really against the nitro-9 explosives from day one when he met Ace.
Well, it's just sort of that idea of a duty of care, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
even though that term hadn't been coined yet, it was always there in Classic.
Yeah, it's very peaceful.
And the Brig's like, I've not been shot at or blown up yet. Something's wrong.
Nice pink laser.
It's sort of amazing that the Brig has no injuries. Like, none at all. He just sort of just walks out of it like, oh dear.
That's comforting. Be like me. It's only a trap. Mustn't forget me hat.
And there just happened to be a pile of hay there for him to jump on.
Yeah.
We'll be poor for the rest of our lives.
And that
£5
helicopter
million
doesn't look like it's made
for
of
that.
polystyrene.
Jeez.
That polystyrene helicopter, £5 million.
It looks like it's been going through so many explosive tests.
Yeah.
Because you can see it's damaged already. I mean, that paintwork. It's just as bad as that Dalek that they pushed out the warehouse window at the top in Resurrection of the Daleks.
Yeah.
So I did find this moment interesting. It's because it's like a weird bit of almost trying to humanize or trying to, I don't know, with them the fact that that Morgana's like that they respect the dead, they have honor, and that literally stops her, and she chews him out to say like you made them out to be barbarians, and they're obviously not.
Mm.
So it's like a weird bit of, like I said, it's like they're almost trying to say she's got some good in her still or something.
Honor. It's all about honor.
Yeah.
Mm.
I've had better.
Sounds like he's quoting from the book of King Arthur.
Yeah, it's like a prophecy, isn't it? This set is a bit,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like kids' telly.
Yeah, it does. And I
It's
mean,
like a
it's
tent.
recycled
It's a tent.
bits and
It's a
pieces
tent.
from older sets.
That looks like a marquee, right?
Yeah.
With lights, disco
Well, no,
lights.
it honestly, do you know, like when sometimes in pubs you get like a kids' play area, like in the
Yeah.
pub. Like it reminds me a bit of that.
She's a redhead. She wouldn't be allowed on TV anymore.
Oh, and also she's an older woman, Lee, so you wouldn't see her on telly anymore.
And that big dinosaur thing, I mean, it was probably carved out of polystyrene.
Yeah.
You can see it's... What a nice person she is.
This music is just like something you'd hear in the 80s McDonald's, you know.
It's too techno, it's rubbish.
So bad.
Exactly. Door key to my voice pattern, that's a major throwback to the to Barusa.
Mm.
The Invasion of Time.
Yeah.
So is this the Doctor's ship? So I was trying to work
This
it out.
is King Arthur's ship.
Okay, because it's keyed to his voice. So is it King Arthur's and
the
the Doctor's?
future Doctor helped to kind of build all the tunnels to it,
okay.
and what the future Doctor had done was where it was all based was is King Arthur's ship.
It'd be interesting if they address that in a future episode or Big Finish or something. I don't know if they have already.
No, they have Big Finish do it if they address it.
Yeah, at this point. Or Black Glove.
Oh yeah, fans. I think they're sort of showing everybody up right now. The fan stuff that's being made.
Yeah.
Especially compared to where Big Finish's trajectory is going.
Oh yeah, and the Beware stuff. That's
of course.
Still doing well, and I'm loving it. I love this. Ace is like, well, I can't just do it. And she does. Yeah, like an umbrella's going to do anything, Doctor, really, isn't it?
Oh, terrifying.
Yeah. Now, this scene coming up, you'll see Ace going into a kind of tank. Now, that was a kind of dangerous moment for Sophie, because Sophie was inside this tank, and it was supposed to be filling up with water.
Yeah.
And you can actually see it in this.
Yeah, she nearly died.
When it fills up, she nearly died because the glass had cracked. And when it filled, it was filling up. I mean,
it's only when it cracks,
to lift her out of it as quickly as possible. You will see it.
What went wrong then? So I'm trying to understand with the glass. Was it just that it didn't come up like it should have?
It was because of the water pressure inside that caused the glass to crack. No, she could have actually killed herself in there.
Well, it's pretty close now. It's literally like here, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, you didn't need much more to.
She was very lucky that Sylvester shouted, "Get her out of there! Get her out of there!" and
Yeah.
they lifted her out of it.
Yeah, I think the glass broke first, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause you can
And
see
she
it,
always
didn't
thought it was thankful for. She was always thankful for Sylvester for warning them
it?
because they couldn't necessarily see from a
No.
way up.
And he would be prime position
Yeah.
2C, wouldn't he? So,
Yeah.
and you've always got the impression that they got on, didn't you, Sylvester and
Same
Sophie?
birthday.
Yeah.
That helps usually with actors. The amount of times you hear actors who share a birthday, and it does seem to bring them close, doesn't it?
And I think as well that I mean, it seems like that you can never really get again because the health and safety today wouldn't allow that.
Yeah, but it's good though, isn't that? That we don't have like, oh yeah, you could have died.
Yeah, but you kind of lose that real sort of energy of the scene, you know.
And even Troughton had his moments, dangerous moments. Where I think there was a story about him that he was on a set and this big thing nearly fell on top of him. This big, I don't know what it was, but I read it in a magazine somewhere that he almost got injured.
Well, I've always got the impression, especially with even at this stage, like we sort of said, oh, it's like a bit cheap looking, but they're still trying the best with what they have. But I think especially earlier seasons, they almost shot too high. It's like you could tell they were like, we probably won't pull this off, but we'll do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, it was John Nathan Turner that just wanted to keep the show going on as long as possible, and I mean, it was coming up to competition with Coronation Street and all that, and they were trying their best, but the best wasn't good enough. And Doctor Who was just it was like at the end, the acting was poor, and they next to no money to work with, and when all that was going against them, and Grade wanting to get rid of Doctor Who, and the higher ups at the BBC wanted to get rid of it. I mean that was the show finished.
Mm.
Everybody, please press 1
which is
in
a
the
shame.
chat. You ready?
Yeah, we're both
I'm ready.
tonight. We're on episode 3.
We've already got 1-1. Wait.
They'll all come at once, like last time.
Yeah.
But we went, oh, there isn't any, and then like 5 were in the chat. Like, oh.
He wanted to leave.
Oh yeah, BBC apparently didn't let him. That's the story I've heard.
They said if you go, we're not going to renew the series. So he, for his love for the show, he wanted to keep it going for as long as he could.
Yeah.
But the sacrifice of his own career.
Right, I think we're ready. I've seen quite a few in the chat.
Go for it, Charlotte.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
I'm gonna say who could do a strangled cat because that's what it's got right now. And considering I have a cat, I know that noise. So if you stand on her tail, she makes it quite loudly.
Ding ding.
Welcome to Battlefield Part 3.
Run!
Not that way, the other way.
Hey, stop screaming, love. You've literally got water coming up to your mouth.
And you'll see it all cracked.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look now. I didn't notice it first time.
There,
See that?
cracks. Yeah, all the cracks.
Oh yeah.
That's them pulling her out. I think they would have been safer with some perspex or something like
Yeah,
that.
probably.
I just don't understand why they did that with the glass anyway. That would be a kind of an inch thick glass sheet. I mean that is quite dangerous anyway.
Oh yeah. See, the thing is, like, if that would have broken open, she would have come flying out with it, and she would have landed in all of that glass.
Oh god,
Yeah.
and cut herself up pretty badly.
Then the BBC would get sued.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, especially if it was. It wouldn't be nice to be cut anywhere, but imagine if it cut her face. Like that. That would be ample grounds just for loss of work, possibly.
It's
That
that
wretched
wretched girl.
Drowning.
Oh, you look like that jacket looks so much like a bin bag now.
Yeah.
Just because it's leather.
Woo, 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 woo. Oi.
Excalibur. Come out, wherever you
when
are.
when you think about it though, it's a bit crazy that they didn't do any art stuff unless they did. Like
And Sylvester's pratfalls as well.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But if you think about like the history, like it's amazing that it took until the 7th Doctor for them to do Arthur.
I mean, the falling about's just a wee bit kind of silly. I mean, that's what kind of Sylvester McCoy did from day one when he was in the set of the time in the Rani.
Hey.
But wasn't his background sort of comedy? Or am I wrong there?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh yes, here we go.
Who else would it be?
Brilliant. I do love those moments.
Yeah, and it's interesting how like every actor, they've all have that smile when they see the brig, and it's a nice little running theme. Even though they'll have a different personality, they all have that affection.
Yeah.
So am I. So did I, Brigadier.
Very good. You should have done the Brigadier thing for the Big Finish competition. They had a thing. Do your best impressions, and they gave you a special pack or something.
Well, probably be a load of stuff I wouldn't probably like anyway.
I think it was the Dalek universe.
Oh.
Plus a TARDIS thingy. But strangely, they said the winners will be picked randomly. I thought, well, surely, what's the point of doing an impression if someone does a bad impression compared to someone who does a good impression? That's not right.
I suppose everybody's a winner now, aren't they?
Participation trophy generation.
It really is, isn't it? If they're literally, it's a competition based on skill to some degree, and they go, no, we'll just pick whoever gets their name out the hat.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Just
there is light in this grey world.
Light and fire.
That seems to be a trope though. Have you noticed whenever you get like these characters from medieval times, like they come across a female and it's always, oh, she's fiery, I like her. You notice that?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the film Excalibur?
No.
Oh, you must watch it. It's the best Arthurian.
Add it to my list.
Yeah. How's
But
Blade
now-
Runner going?
Oh, I've watched the first one.
Excellent.
I finished that today actually,
Brilliant.
but I need to. I've mithered Rabbi again for the sequel.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll get it in time.
Well, you can thank me because I was the one who managed to get
Yeah.
to.
Trust me, as soon as I finished it, Daniel was like, "So what did you think?" And then I told him what I thought, and he goes, "Well, that's BS." And then he called me, so it was okay. We're gonna have a debate about Blade Runner now, I think.
I think Queen Morgana needs to see a nail technician.
Oh, it's a bit like the witches, the Roald Dahl thing with the fingers, isn't it?
Mm. Oh.
Did you just say "oh" when she's like made the body go to dust?
Mm.
That's a weird arm thing.
Get away from her, you bitch.
Like I said, this is another moment. It's and I quite like it actually how she's not just a cackling villain. They show these moments of kindness or honor, and it's nice that she's not just I'm evil.
Nuanced. Yeah, she's nuanced.
Because most of Morgana in the Arthur legends, she's sort of just a stock villainous character.
Mm. She got some great mannerisms as well, you know, the hand gestures and everything. She's got real power to her performance.
Sophie, you look like the dog in the back with your head out like that. You're the family Labrador that they put the window down so it can get a bit of air.
She's totally falling for that guy.
Oh, she's playing hard to get.
That wouldn't be allowed now, having a heteronormative love affair.
Excuse me.
Well, that didn't hit even the windscreen. Oh, there we go. The back. Well, they didn't hit the front windscreen, but they managed to hit the back one. Okay.
Well, not just hit it, make it basically collapse in.
Yeah. Look at that. Size of that thing. Oh, this music. Oh. Magnificent.
Yeah, it is.
timid.
How would you not notice that, love?
Right. Oh, she's infatuated with him, that's why.
Oh, okay. She's doing puppy eyes at night.
Mm.
I love the doctor's just like in the background, like, don't annoy the brig. Don't annoy the brig.
Yep. All right, love. Fucking hell.
I suppose she's just got her sight back, so she might be a little bit.
No, sir. I can't roll my R's anymore. I used to be able to. Yeah.
You really start to see that the doctor take authority now. Seems like he's fully.
He's hypnotizing. Yeah.
And the brig's just laughing, like, yep, that's the doctor.
I just wish he wore a waistcoat at this point.
Yeah, the darker jacket really makes now the question mark vest not go, doesn't it? It's like,
Yeah. Yes, the return of Bessie.
Oh, Bessie.
With its nose job at this point.
yeah, and it's Who 7 as well, which is a nice touch. See, this is when fan service works. Like it makes sense. It's not enough of a big thing that it's going to take over. Just give them a nice bit of fan service.
Yeah.
Okay, you two just kiss. Just kiss.
Oh, that's sweet.
I like that when he sort of like bops her nose.
Wicked. God, that was so cringe. See, this is what they need to understand. You keep it too modern day, it dates really quickly.
Oh God, yeah.
Tell she's a smoker. You think they could have drawn the circle using the light as a reference?
It does look though just like a literal spotlight, doesn't it? On them.
Mm.
So this is why I never leave two teenage girls to look after anything.
See, this would never happen because, like, every Big Finish now and every TV show now, women who put together are like become instantly the bestest friends.
Yeah, and I'll tell from experience that doesn't happen. You will get some of your closest mates, but I've always said I'd rather have more friends that are guys than girls any day because it's so less bitchy.
Your mate's over there just blowing him up. Did you just say Harmy? Sounds like Harmy.
Told you, Loki knockoff. Even the hair.
Budget Loki.
I was just like, oh wow, I'd Loki before Loki was a thing.
God. Ooh, bit misogynistic.
I love how they just stop because the doctor just screams at them.
That was pretty stonking performance there.
I do love the moment coming up, though. It's a proper test for the Doctor.
He's putting his sword right by his neck there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stupid move, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like you're going to get nicked. If not worse.
It's like you don't come across as the brightest tool in the box, mate, so probably don't put a sword by your neck.
Very much so. That's a pretty creepy ending, wasn't it?
It does feel a little bit like it comes from nowhere, though, the whole demon angle.
Right. Where's our glorious leader?
Well, mine's still loading, maybe his is.
Ah, yes. How's everyone in the chat doing? You doing good?
Well, Daniel's been a proper little trooper and has been putting links up all the time.
Being a legend and everything.
Starting.
It's a busy life being a legend.
I'll put my light on.
Wait, the last part to
Yeah,
load
just put
up.
mine on.
Round and round and round we go. There goes nobody knows.
You're losing the plot then.
Right, I'm ready to go.
Yep, I'm ready to chat. Press your one.
Press your ones, press your ones, press your ones. Hurry up.
Someone's been watching football. Get your ones on. Get your ones on.
Get your ones on. Get your ones on.
There's another one.
We got 2 ones.
2-1, 2-1, 3-1.
Oh, Lee, that sounds so wrong. You doing any sort of football chant?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well.
Lee, yeah, you wouldn't.
4-1.
No.
No, football fans don't sound like that.
Yes, they do.
To me and Lee, they do.
Dare you discriminate against football fans?
I am football phobic. It's true. What are you going to do about it?
We're going to cancel you now. Because, that's what we do.
Oh, no, you're a straight male. You can't cancel anybody.
I've been free-tooed. Free-tooed. Oh, me too. Sorry. No, wrong.
Right. I think we're ready in the chat.
Yeah. I think we are ready. Charlotte, walk away for the final part of Battlefield.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
go!
Oh, Lee, have you just seen Daniel's message in the chat?
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Very quick before this episode starts, I will be doing a pre-record with someone. Then we'll be doing the ClassicWhoZone talks after everybody's watched the pre-record. Because it'll be a very interesting topic tomorrow. So.
Yes, lots of conflicting things going about, I would say.
Mm-hmm. So a lot to talk about tomorrow. So back to this now. The naff 80s music. The size of that bleeding crown on our head.
Well, it's a bit long, isn't it? I don't know what you refer to them as. Because I think the actual dress bit of her outfit actually looks good.
Yeah, and the music in this isn't too bad either, until this bit.
Yeah, it's kind of like they tried to do a kind of an Omen kind of music, but naff 80s version.
Well, they got that orchestra hit sound, from the 80s.
You still got that sword by your neck, you idiot.
Oh, see? Warned you.
This is a pretty dark moment, though, for the Doctor. Like, if you think about it, it's like I think he's close to doing it myself. The way Sylvester plays it, anyway.
Well, it's reminiscent of sort of Tom Baker's dark moments as well.
Yeah, but I think with Sylvester's Doctor, they were doing that anyway. So when he does it, you sort of have that "is he going to" moment. I think more than you would with Tom.
So I mean, it was is it in the Happiness Patrol? It's like that line, end my life. He says that himself, doesn't he? Pull the trigger, end my life.
Yeah. And then the Brig's like, well, I'll shoot you. I don't care.
Yeah.
This is why Dr. Now and again having a soldier isn't a bad idea around. So then you don't have to do all the messy hurting and killing, possibly.
Yeah, she don't care.
Nah. She's like, I didn't like him anyway, just kill him.
Die well, my son. Boom, 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 boom. It's like you're going on holiday to fucking Mallorca.
Yeah, and it's like they're trying to do a serious scene here of like these two fighting, or the force of the soldiers, and it's just like
totally inappropriate.
It is for what's going on, really, isn't it?
I mean, the composition, the arrangement rather, is fine. It's the execution of it. It's terrible sword fighting as well.
I love the break. He's like, just keep talking, just give me an excuse.
I'm tired of hearing about your mother.
See what they if the budget basically went on smoke machines, I think, for this episode. Sophie's brilliant in this scene.
Paper knife. Ooh. I think his mask is very impressive.
Oh yeah, I think it's an impressive creature. It feels a bit out of left field to me. I know we're dealing with Arthur and witchcraft and all that, but
I mean, it's like the devil itself.
oh yeah, I think they probably couldn't get away with saying the devil, so they just.
I mean, if you look at the paintings of Hieronymus Bosch, it's kind of got that look about it. Perhaps. I used to have a laser projector that made that Squiggle. What a pussy.
So how are those two okay? Like they're bringing a helicopter crash and he's been fine.
Nah.
It's like these two look like half the house or the pub saw is fallen on them.
Oh.
Actually, there's a fair amount of death in these episodes that you don't really. And
Yeah.
bit of a bloodbath. This one.
I think the animatronics in the Destroyer are quite good.
Yeah. Although I think he should have had contact lenses.
Yeah. The destruction in the pub, I mean, that's a bit kind of overdone.
Mm.
I mean, Jean Marsh is Morgaine. She steals every scene.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's great.
She's really that good.
She's a classy actress, that one.
Yeah.
See, they would. It just shows though, even at this stage, they could still get high class actors. It's just I think sometimes they just went with who was cheaper. Like,
Well, it was paid work. That's. And I think a lot of actors, it had a sort of prestige to be on Doctor Who because almost everyone did.
oh yeah, and I think the show's always going to have an affection, isn't it, in the British public? So even.
And you have to bear in mind a lot of them have kids or grandkids who love it.
Watch it.
Yeah. So they kind of do it for them.
Yeah, but imagine doing that and then you're cast as a villain. Wouldn't you scare your kids?
Yeah. Or maybe make it easier for them.
Yeah, so it'd be like, Mummy or Daddy's going to be in your favourite show. It's like, oopsies. So you almost kill the Doctor. And, like, you could scar your kids for life.
Nope.
Well, there goes Brig.
Poor Brigadier.
That was uncalled for. Well, he did try and shoot him. Bear that in mind.
I'm playing poker, and I have an ace up my sleeve. I think that scene is a wee bit good.
Caught it by the blade end. I mean, that's going to hurt.
Oh, he'll just use regeneration energy to heal himself.
That's pretty creepy.
It is.
Yeah. Sophie looks really scared there.
Mm.
Superman.
Yeah, and also I'm
The
gonna
Hulk.
expose a massive weak spot just for you to shoot.
Like that sword just is so easy to get hold of these days.
Yeah, they're just passing it around like
I
parcel
know.
parcel at this point.
hot potato. Yes!
Silver bullets. Brigadier hitting the doctor like that and he goes unconscious.
It just
He
goes
should've
down
gone,
like a sack of spuds, doesn't it?
That was a wasted opportunity. He should have gone, hi! And so I've learned a few things from you, Doctor.
Yeah. Like being around you, Doctor, you pick up a few things.
The effects are terrible. I mean, the smoke coming out of that castle.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's the colour as well. It really doesn't help, does it?
no. I think this would have been better if it had a bigger budget and a better production team.
This really feels like they had a really far out idea, but the just budget couldn't cope with the idea.
Like no effects there. Oh, there we go. Yeah. You hear the explosion, but don't see
Half of
one.
the budget must have went to the destroyer.
It went into the helicopter and the
Yeah,
mask.
helicopter and the destroyer probably combined.
You can see as it's shooting in the bullet holes. It's latex. It doesn't look like flesh at all. Completely destroyed.
Imagine though the brig had died if they'd killed the brig off.
I don't think they would have done that because they were keeping it open for potential future episodes.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. Imagine if they did the outcry.
Yeah. But they did it nicely. They touched on it, and when Nicholas Courtney actually died in Matt Smith's era.
Mm.
Oh yeah, the first time I loved that first reference they did when he phoned.
Yeah.
And they told him, and I love the fact that the doctor didn't say.
There's the line. I'm getting too old for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
The most.
I would say to you, Doctor.
No, like I said, I love that moment with Matt because he didn't say anything, and you could just see his face fall, and you were just like, oh. And obviously, we know Nicholas had passed, so we all knew what he'd been told on the phone.
Now, I think this is one of McCoy's great speeches coming up here. He has a speech with Gene Marsh.
Yeah. And
I think this is one of his
this is
best.
technically politics, if you think about it. This is political. The whole idea of the nukes and whether they're a good thing or bad thing. I think almost they were trying to make a bit of an argument.
Yeah. But it's not over the top like New Who.
That doesn't look like a fish tank.
Arthur the Freeze died.
I will put him there. See, this has to be addressed, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they haven't done it.
Well, they could do it in the big finish audios. They could get Sylvester McCoy back, and they could get Sophie Aldred back, and they can get Angela Bruce back as Brigadier Bambera. You know,
Yeah.
they could do that through a big finish.
or
They could do it with a
they could
future
have
incarnation.
Yeah.
or they could just have John Coleshaw do Brigadier, like the original.
I love that.
I love they look and they go, "Oh, we're going to carry on fighting." Yeah,
It's
but here's the
great
thing.
that he uses the umbrella all the time to, is a kind of defensive.
Well, yeah, it's sort of like his version of the scarf, isn't it?
Yeah. To say that's the only bit I like about Sylvester McCoy's costume is the umbrella, and that's it.
I've got that umbrella.
I bought that umbrella out the Who shop maybe over 22 years ago.
Wow. I got mine from eBay. Yeah, the spoke broke on mine.
Yeah, well, the whole frame kind of disintegrated because I used it quite a lot.
I think mine was a homemade one, not a commercial.
I've still got the question mark. I'm gonna fix it one day, and I'm gonna put an umbrella onto it and just fix it in.
Well, I mean, mine still looks the part. Just can't open it up.
Yeah.
Well, I can open it up, but it will look limp.
Oh, look at Ace bouncing around, and the Brit's like, "Don't hug me."
Because I remember when I ordered it from the Who shop, and I was phoning. I was down at my grand's, and I was phoning them up and to see when what was happening with it, and they were struggling to get a kind of package together to kind of send it away off right from London to Scotland, and once they did finally sent it off, they sent it off, and it went to Parcel Force in Edinburgh. And then Parcel Force in Edinburgh eventually, a few weeks later, sent it down to my grand's.
Wow.
And it survived all that. That's quite impressive.
Yeah. I do have the jumper, the Lavarzi question mark jumper, and I don't like it. I just absolutely detest it. I bought it, and when I put it on, I thought, no, it makes me look a bit kind of fatter.
My gran knitted mine. She knitted mine, and when I met Sylvester on the set of Ghostlight, You know, he went snap, and I said, "You're not wearing yours." And he said, "But it's dress rehearsal. It's too hot." But he's wearing the rest of his costume.
You see, every time I look at Sylvester, the colours, I think it's a kind of a green. You know, I like a green. But as I look it up, as I've got the kind of reproduction of it, it's actually kind of turquoise, kind of turquoise blue, light blue.
I mean, I'd say it's a sort of aquamarine or a teal colour.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely dog. Oh.
Very well behaved dog that it's just lying in the shot and not doing anything.
I thought you said this was an antiquated piece of junk. Every episode I've seen in Doctor Who, the Doctor is a gentleman, and the way he treats the ladies is like a gentleman would do.
Yes.
There's no indication that this is an alien that would gender switch.
Well, that's the thing. It's definitely classic. It's like he's chosen his mask to be the English gentleman.
Are they not magnificent? Yeah.
I'll cook supper.
And there we go.
There we go.
Right. You people have already left their rating. If everybody else in the chat wants to do so, we'll go around the panel now and we'll get everybody's rating. We'll start with Charlotte.
Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed bits of this, so I'll probably give it a 7 because I like Arthur anyway, and it's a different take on Arthur. They didn't just do the typical swords and shields, which I quite liked. I like how Sylvester is in this. You see moments of him tested, I think, his doctor, and like how far will he go. And I also said, like I said, I like that they don't explain the Merlin thing. It's just sort of dropped him, and then it's left. And because I don't think everything needs to be explained. I really like it when a writer has the confidence almost to just go, no, I'm just going to give you a bit, and I'm just going to let you work out the rest. So I really like that. But it is a bit like some of the sets and some of the effects and some bits are a little bit jokey. So that's why it's a 7. It's not quite top tier, but it's not like Colin Baker, I can't stand it levels.
Not bad. Merlin, sorry. Ryan.
I actually do quite like this episode, this serial. I think there's good stuff in it. There's bad stuff in it. The bad stuff is being the visual effects, special effects, a wee bit of the acting. But the writer that put the intention into this episode wrote this in a way of mystery, adventure, and curiosity. And basically developing the character of the Doctor, we're giving him more mystery that because he's a time traveler, he's done events in the future, and actually he's in the past, but actually his future, and he doesn't quite understand what is actually going on. And when he finally understands what's going on, everything all clicks together and the story kind of forms. It's good to see the Brigadier back, and I think that's one bonus of this, and I think that's what kind of makes this episode a wee bit kind of more special, is because Nicholas Courtney is back as the Brigadier, and he's back with his full costume on, his Brigadier costume and that, and getting involved again, and meeting the new Doctor again, and it's he's meeting another incarnation of the Doctor, and the Doctor recognizes who he is and that, and
Well, for the first time, he recognizes him before the Doctor does.
Yeah. So it is a kind of magical experience to see all that, the Doctor and the Brigadier back together and again and that, and basically this story could have done with a bit of better money, better music, better acting and that, but they had a good actress, Jean Marsh, and she really steals the scenes and works well with Sylvester McCoy, and Sylvester is a good actor, but he's not really given much good stuff to work with. He's given kind of light-hearted stuff to kind of work with, and I think they were trying to inject humour into it, and that just to try and make it a bit more funny, when actually it looks kind of a bit cheesy. The whole the Knights costumes and that, they're very plasticky, and you can hear them crackling as they're walking over stones and all that, and the guns and that. I think the interdimensional King Arthur, the soldiers, and the war that's going on, and basically this dimension is quite a good idea, and I think it works in a way. It is fantasy, and it brings fantasy and fiction together, and the writer's trying to tell and explain this kind of tale, and it does give more layers of mystery to the Doctor, and with Ace's involvement, I think Sophie Aldred's performances were a bit kind of corners, if you kind of understand what I'm saying. She's not a good actress. It's very it does all come off cheesy and that, and very amateur in poor performances and all that. But she's not been given much of a good story to work with. That for her, it's basically like she's just chipping in and that, and given rubbish lines to do in that, and
cringe lines,
cringe. It's very cringy in that, and it's not
wicked
very,
and all that.
Yeah, it's very kind of.
I think Ace is a good example of when you have adults trying to write a teenage character.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you always get those sort of cringy lines when it's like, maybe you shouldn't try and write younger characters if you can't.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be kind of modern teenager for the time. She was supposed to be tough.
But
she
written
was
by middle-aged white guys who you see don't know how to write female.
The writer does not have a clue how to kind of write for Ace, because basically she was a kind of tough, kind of streetwise teenager and that, and basically that she was very streetwise in that, and she had ideas of being a kind of. She wanted to be this kind of dedicated companion. She wanted to look after the Doctor and like that, to make sure that the Doctor was safe and all that. But the Doctor was trying to protect her in a way, because it came off as though that the Doctor didn't like her using explosives and all that, and basically you can see that when she went into the pub as well with the drinking. She said she wanted a glass of vodka, and the Doctor just looked at her, and she said she just changed her mind. She wanted a glass of lemonade instead. I mean, that's the kind of character the Doctor is. He's like a kind of uncle. He's like a kind of father figure, like to the companions, that that it is important that you have someone to kind of look up to, and the Doctor is that. He is a kind of figure for the fans to look up to, and like likes of myself, I think the Doctor is my hero. I mean, he's the one. He's the one that's trying to save the universe from a terrifying, catastrophic alien invasion or something like that. That's going to change the nature of the human race forever, and he's trying his best to prevent that. In this, it's just basically the Doctor as the Doctor in this. He's smug and he's very pretentious and all that. And then when he realizes it's all him, then that's when the character starts to shine.
Yeah.
So I would give this episode a 7 out of 10.
Fantastic, Lee.
Yeah, I was just reading through the comments there. Of course, Jean Marsh previously Mrs. Pertwee. So it's funny when you think about things like that in that context, isn't it? And also, you asked, should we ever? Lee Halford asked, should we consider recasting the Brigadier for the modern show? No.
No way.
Have a different Brigadier by all means, but you can't.
Yeah, it's a title. You can give it to somebody else, but not Nick.
Yeah.
Not Nick.
So yeah, I mean, when I first watched this back in 1989, I absolutely hated this episode, this story. I did. You know, because I wait for it to come back, and I just thought, you know, I think even then, you know, being a teenager, and this is obviously kind of aiming towards my age group, but maybe slightly younger, and it just felt really tacky and patronizing. And it lacks all the sort of gravitas and all the sort of heavy writing, you know, that was put into the vocabulary of the Doctor and all the other characters. And it never seemed to patronize you when I was much younger, which is strange. But having said that, you know, I mean, the music, the terrible music aside, the awful special effects. There are some great effects of the practical effects of the mask of the Destroyer, and the wonderful Jean Marsh chewing up the scenery as our illustrious Merlin stated. There are some good bits. There's some terrible character acting, particularly from Ace in this one. I think Sophie Aldred not at her best, and the other side character, was it Shaolin or something? It was like two aces. I mean, it was just cringe. But there's some good bits in there, and there were moments when we were sort of sat there quietly as we were sort of engrossed in what's going on. So you can't take that away from it. The story is interesting. I think it does deserve a sequel from Big Finish or down the line. And it was still enjoyable, much more enjoyable than a lot of some of the other McCoy era stuff. So I'm going to give it 6.5.
No problem. And listen, everybody's covered everything on the panel. I'll just be quick and easy and just say I'm giving this a 5. Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either.
Yeah.
I just found the music terrible. To be quite honest with you, that threw me off quite a bit.
Oh, the music was just insufferable.
And the acting in it is terrible. I'm sorry, but it is. It's terrible. Yeah. Even from Sylvester McCoy, it's terrible. The only one, of course, the bright spark is obviously the Brigadier.
Oh, the Brigadier and Tim Bessie. I mean, that's why I gave it a higher score. I did.
His acting is actually on point as usual, so no problem with him. But the acting from everybody else, except your one that everybody's mentioned, she was not too bad. She annoyed me as well with her big crown. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the McCoy and Baker era, as you know. So, like, you know, it's going to be very hard for me to kind of, you know, get up for these stories.
Well, we're going back to Hartnell now. So.
Yeah, we're going back early.
Well, for me, when we do Baker and McCoy, to me, every time we watch them, I just think the end of Doctor Who, and I just can't get me head around that. I just don't like them as the Doctor. Sylvester is slightly better. He does have some good stories, and he does do his best. But I wasn't really a fan of his doctor. I still am a fan of his doctor. I like him personally. I think he's a great man, like, you know, and he's in my
he's
favorite.
lovely.
He's in my favorite trilogy. So, like, you know, the Hobbit trilogy. So, yeah, not bad. So, yeah, 5 out of 10. Not great, but not god awful. I mean, there's
Yeah.
worse. There's
Yeah.
worse. Right, what I'll do is, because I've got the head off, because Ted is due his medicine now
Oh,
in
bless him.
9 minutes, so I have to bring him out before then, and then give him his medicine. It has to be all timed. So what I'll do is I'll get you all very quickly to plug you our channels.
Do we know what we're
before
doing
head off.
for next week?
What?
What we're doing for next week?
Let me see. William Hartnell.
Or are we all picking one again?
No, gets too messy now. Gets too messy. No, not anymore. No,
Joel's got the power.
I have the power. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make an announcement on the classic episode, William Hartnell episode, tomorrow, during the TARDIS Zone talks. So,
Yeah.
join us for the TARDIS Zone talks. It's going to be a very interesting one. Because before it, I'm going to be dropping a pre-record, which I'm recording tomorrow, actually. So I'll be literally just finished recording. I'll upload it, and it'll be dropping straight away. Want you to watch that pre-record, and then when we come on the TARDIS Zone talks, then I want to get your opinions of what you just heard on the stream. It is in relation to the latest Doctor Who rumors that have been flying around. I don't know how much of an appetite there actually is right now with the current controversy, which we won't get into, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's like as if it sucker punched all the fans, to be quite honest with you. It's not the stuffing out of a lot of people.
It's demoralising for a lot of people.
It is, but you know, if you are interested, we'll be doing that tomorrow. And then Monday, then I plan on doing the New Who stream. If you are still interested in me doing the New Who stream, there is. It's obviously the Moffat era, so it's nothing really to do with, you know, the RTD era. So I think everybody should be fine enough with that.
Yeah, you guys enjoyed the 11th hour, didn't you?
Yeah. So I'm gonna do the next one is the Beast Below. So I'm gonna do the Beast Below. I do know Daniel won't be joining us. He's already sent me a message. He just right now at the moment, he's taking it very hard. All of this stuff that's come out. I don't blame him. I really don't. I mean, I'm gutted myself. I really am. It's actually very hard to kind of comprehend because, as I said, this show means so much to me. 2005, that show came back and saved me life. And to think that it might be tainted because of the actions of someone that was working on the show.
Yeah.
Listen, we don't know the whole story yet. And obviously over the next few weeks or months, we'll probably find out what actually went on. But it has. It's sucker punched me like a lot of people. But look, we still have. I'm gonna continue to do the Moffat era because it's nothing to do with it. I enjoy the New Who era. It's just right now I can't watch the RTD era if I'm being honest. So we'll just stick with the Moffat era. I'm doing the Beast Below. So if there's anybody, because Daniel right now doesn't want to, and I understand that wholeheartedly. But if there's anybody that would like to come on while Daniel takes the time off, would like to come on and do that New Who. I don't know if PD Rick's going to be there because he's getting very busy as well. So
well, mate, if you ever need me, I'm happy to serve.
Yeah, not a bother. If anybody wants to join the New Who panel that we know that's been in the chat a long time now, because you know how it goes, you're more than welcome to join. Right, that's all from me. So we'll move on to Charlotte. So Charlotte, what does Daniel have? I know he's moving away from Doctor Who, and he's doing. He was telling me he's doing Line of Duty. But what else can you tell us is happening on Daniel's channel?
Well, on Tuesday we're just having a Q&A because we've not done one with the both of us on stream, so we thought that'd be a bit of fun and a bit of just nice. It's a nice, easy way to start streams again. And like you said, I finally got him to watch Line of Duty, and I can be the one who knows more for once, which would be nice. So, and then the week after, so Tuesday we're Q&A, and then the next Tuesday probably it's going to be Line of Duty, and then we're going to do episode by episode of the first series and see how it goes.
Fantastic. That sounds brilliant. And tune in for it because, you know, he's taken a step away. As I said, he's gone into uncharted waters here by doing something like Line of Duty, but he's pretty excited about it, I have to be honest. He's been telling me. So, you know, check it out. And why not actually even try go back to season 1 yourselves, guys? I'm going to do the same because I said to Daniel now I have to watch it because if he's going to be doing the reviews now, I'll have to watch like so. I'm going to see if me Shara can get even season 1 done by next week. But we're definitely going to be doing it. But check it out. You go back from the beginning. You might have forgotten stuff and watch it again. Because it sounds like a really great show. And then check out Daniel's reviews with Charlotte and whoever else they do have on as guests. It'll be pretty great. Lee.
Yep. You can find me on the Twitter at Being Problem. I'm also about to be on Captain Cotley Spock's channel in 3 minutes, so I've got to bugger off. So check out Captain Cotley Spock. And I'll be there. I believe PD Rich will probably be there as well. I don't know.
He will, he will, because he told me he couldn't come in and wrench tonight because his Saturdays is getting pretty busy. So I said,
it's getting crazy. Cray. You can also download me hit single with Heel versus Babyface from iTunes, Apple Store, or Amazon, or any of those major download sites, or Spotify. And the video on Az's channel is now hitting around 50,000 views. That's crazy. And also my other channel, which is Ordred Audio Visual. It sounds very Merlin and Arthur, doesn't it? Ordred. Yeah. That's my grandmother's middle name of a king, Saxon king, I believe. So Ordred Audio Visual. And that's
fantastic.
I'm going to see you guys. I'll bugger off.
Yeah, you back off now.
I'll back off.
Real Merlin or Real Super Doctor, do you want to? Did I already ask you? I forget. But if I didn't, drop your socials and your whatever else you want.
I've got a channel under Real Super Doctor, and I've got a Twitter account under Real Super Doctor.
Fantastic. And listen, that's it. So we stuck strictly to Classic Who. There was no rant or ranting. So I hope you enjoyed this one. To be honest, doing 4 hour, 5 hour streams when we only do, we're only supposed to do only 2 hour streams, like doesn't make any sense. So no rants for me today, even though there is plenty to rant about. But we'll leave that until tomorrow because I have plenty to say tomorrow, just like all you guys definitely will. I know tomorrow's Tarzan Talks is going to
be a busy one.
It's going to be a biggie one, yeah, because lots has happened since we had the last one. And it'll be interesting to see where everybody stands as well on the RTD era as well, because I'm going to ask that question. It's going to be a hard one. So I'll ask the question now, actually, so you can think about it. But where do you all stand now on the RTD era? And what do you think BBC should do if all of these alleged allegations are true? Will it taint you watching the RTD era? Would you feel uncomfortable watching it? There's a lot to think about. But think about that tomorrow and let me know what you guys think. I know this is really sucker punched a lot of yous. And it is sad. It is, because, you know, the show gave a lot to everybody. But that was going on behind the scenes. I just can't. It still baffles me how it was able to continue if it did. If it's all true, of course. But time will tell. But look, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to say good night. Enjoy your weekend. And don't forget to join me now. I'll have, obviously, that pre-record. I'll record it at 5 o'clock, actually, with them. and then I'd say it'll be about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So that'll be 6. So I hope to throw it up around 6:30. Give you time all to watch it. And then 8 o'clock, then the third zone talks, and it's gonna be, as I said, and as Charlotte said as well, it's gonna be biggie. I think it's also gonna be a very emotional one as well. So prepare for a lot of emotion, because as I said, there's a lot that people have to say, and I can't wait. So enjoy our weekend. The rest of our weekend. Stay safe.
Night, everybody.
Good
Look
night.
after ourselves, and don't drink too much. Good night, folks. See you later. Bye bye.
Bye.